Right, that's live. Right, guys, welcome to another TRB Blueprint Success interview. This is the third in quick succession. My fellas have been smashing it, as Phil will vouch. The guys are killing it in the group, aren't
Absolutely.
they? And Phil's about to share his journey as well, which I much appreciate, because I'm sure there's a lot of business owners who can relate to where you were back 3 months ago. So before we begin, do you just want to give a quick introduction, bit of your background, and then we'll go from there?
Yeah, obviously, like Chris says, my name's Phil Hartley. I've got a plumbing and heating company. I also got a separate business where we've got a bathroom showroom. And we've also got a boiler plant company where you can insure your heating system. So essentially, we've got 3 businesses. Been married for 23 years. Got 2 kids. My son's 21, Calvin. My daughter Lily's 15. We've got 2 dogs, 3 horses. So outside of work, it's quite busy as well. Time served plumber. I served my time when I came out of school. 16, did a 4-year apprenticeship, and off I went. I've in theory been self-employed for 22 years this year. So yeah, it's a little bit of an insight on me. I've only ever been in the plumbing and heating industry. I've never been in any other industry.
And we short realised we had a lot in common, didn't we? Like football and
football, yeah.
Put it on the back burner, devoted our lives to business. And I've actually been through a time where I was at breaking point, full of stress. I hired a coach. That's where I found my passion for coaching people. Here we are today, helping business owners. So in terms of time constraints, I'm sure you can imagine Phil's time constraints. 3 businesses, growing family, dogs, horses. Your to-do list was just never ending, wasn't it?
It was a bit of a challenge at the best of times, to be fair. Yeah, it was quite overwhelming. I think it's just it gets you slog it out for a period of time, and it just at some point just kind of gets a grip of you and gets a hold of you. And the littlest things can kind of spiral out of control.
So can you try and paint a bit of a picture of where you were? It's about 3 months ago now, isn't it? So yeah, so I kind of reached out after seeing one of your videos. Kind of you hit a number of things which resonated with me, and that was going on in my life at the time. But I think at that particular time, it was just that ever-growing to-do list was just really getting on top of us. And lots of the things in the to-do list were just little, simple, sort of mundane tasks, but they just all seemed to just merge into one big problem. You just couldn't see the what's the saying, the wood for the trees type of thing. And then you would just get that one extra thing which would come along, and it would just derail your day, and nothing would get done. You just constantly feel as if you're fighting fires all the time and zigzagging through the day. Can you remember how long that went on for?
Not really, to be honest with you, too long, if I'm being honest. Like I say, I've done this for a long time. And you'd think doing this for a long time, you'd kind of have maybe it's a better system or a better way of dealing with things, and you just kind of get used to it. But I think with my case, it was just getting on top of us.
I mean, you are spinning every plate, aren't you? Just plates here, plates there. Obviously, that's one of the downfalls of having so many companies, isn't it? So,
yeah, there was sometimes you don't do yourself any favors by you almost set yourself up to fail most of the time, and that's sometimes part of the problem.
Now, before we pressed record, we briefly spoke about like your old school belief of you didn't want to ask for help. Can you explain? I'm sure a lot of men can resonate. What was your mindset?
I'm kind of a very old
I think it's probably an old-fashioned belief, really. Whereas you as a man, you don't want to accept that you can't do something, or you can't cope, or you can't not cope, or you can't that you're struggling. You don't want to admit defeat. You don't want to show weakness. But I suppose it comes a time where just you have to be honest with yourself and just say, look, I could do with a bit of a leg up here.
And can you remember that moment where it's like, right, I'm gonna get help? Can you remember what was the turning point at all or not?
There was a couple. There was a couple of indicators, but there was one in particular where I got kind of outed out. Like I was approached at work and said, "Look, you're not really. Is everything all right? You don't seem yourself." And it was a little bit of tough love from somebody at work. Noticed that wasn't really performing the way I have been, the way I should be. And it was like, okay, fair enough. I need to be better. I need to make sure I get better at this. But it was the feeling of failure that kind of is difficult to take when you got, like, I don't know, the at that time it's like you feel as if you're trapped. You don't know what to do. You just kind of seem to breathe. You just bouncing through the days, and then I just, I believe in things happen for a reason, and for whatever reason I stumbled across your video at that point, which was a bit bizarre, considering where I was at. And I just thought, pardon me French, but fuck it, let's give it a go. Yeah, that's what was all about, really.
And before we even started, like, you're already part of the gym. Like, that was one of your strong points, wasn't it? Like, you love the gym. You've been through a bit of a transformation at your gym, but like that only takes care of like certain aspects of your life, doesn't it? Like, there's other things, with stress and stuff that you need to work on as well.
Yeah, the gym was always a bit of a routine of mine, going into this 12-week plan. But again, when I started the gym, when I started going to the gym, like nearly 3 years ago, it wasn't for me. It was for my son. It was to go and help and support him, because he was in a place where he wanted to improve his the way he looked. He was overweight. I felt a little bit responsible for that, and I just thought, I'll go along and help him. And the thought was, I'll go along and help him, and then I would kind of bail out once he kind of got to know what was going on. But we trained together for nearly 2.5 years, and my son he's lost nearly 5 stone.
Wow.
He's a completely different character. But for me, it built a habit, and I really enjoy it. I really enjoy the gym environment. I do. Before I joined this, I was already doing 3 PTs a week, 3 half-an-hour PT sessions a week, and through this 12-week progress, kind of built on bits and pieces in there and made it a little bit better.
Yeah, PB, strongest you've ever been, fittest you've. So, and then talk about the start of our process. Like, how would you describe it? What did we do, etc.?
It was just very, very informal. It was just you were easy to talk to. We got on great from the off. We had a lot of similarities in the way both of us grew up. Had a very similar sort of path in life. I think really when we started talking about certain things, and a lot of things resonated as well. There was a lot of similarities, and which I think it can help when you're not maybe feeling yourself, to maybe meet somebody who's kind of going through or been through something similar, who can empathise with what you're saying and things like that.
I remember saying that because I was on the back end of it, and I'd been through what I was about to show you, etc. And yeah, when you can relate to someone, it's like, oh, my situation's not unique. Like other people are feeling the same.
Yeah,
like,
you do feel unique. You do feel unique, and then when you find out it's not unique, it's a bit of a relief, to be fair.
Not just me. I'm not just going crazy. Other people are in the same.
Yeah, and it's like I say, it is a relief, because you do feel as a man, you don't want to reach out to anybody, because you don't want anybody to feel as if, I think, is, you don't want to feel like a failure, because you're a man, and you're supposed to, you're supposed to provide, and you're supposed to be the strong one, and you're supposed to be as the company owner, or the boss, or whatever, you're supposed to be the one that's leading the way. And if everybody seems to think that you've got a weakness, you think that's the wrong thing to do, or the wrong thing to portray. But it's not. It couldn't be further from the truth, to be fair.
We had our last call yesterday, and you gave me goosebumps, like genuine goosebumps, when you said it was the best investment you ever made. So from an old school mindset of like, just dig in, keep working, you don't need any help, to fuck it, I'm going to go for it, and being the best investment ever made, like, it's night and day difference in it. So talk through, like, why was the program so helpful for you getting out of where you were, do you think?
Over the years, I've invested in little bits and pieces similar. So I've kind of dipped my toe in, kind of known as like, I've kind of skirted around that I could do with a bit of a leg up, and not really sort of fully committed to anything. Kind of done it and thought, oh, I'm all right. You get, a couple of weeks in, and to like you'll do these little bits and pieces of like personal development things, and there's loads out there, absolutely stacks out there at the minute.
Yeah.
And I never stuck to any of them. Never. You would get 2 or 3 weeks in and just think, it's not for me. I'm all right. I'm fine. I don't need it. But just with the way that your plan is set out, and the way it kind of goes through the 12 weeks, it just seems to just slowly just unlock a few things in your mind, and you just seem to, you just get past the barrier after barrier after barrier. There's no, it's not intense. It's not, it's not overwhelming. It's a very simple process that you can follow quite easily. At the start, it's not really, it doesn't take a huge amount of time or work. You just gotta, be open and be, you've got to want to do it. And I just found the whole 12 weeks just different class. Complete different class, and it's the best investment I've ever made. That's hands down. On a personal development type of thing, I've done lots of little bits and pieces before, and once you've kind of done it and you've maybe not completed it, you forgot about it the next day. Where this is a different, it's different gravy, if you know what I mean.
For anyone down south, that means it's top class. So mindset, I think, was the biggest breakthrough for you, right?
Yeah, I just felt as if I was kind of stuck in second gear. I just couldn't seem to kind of just get myself going. Lots of people might call it different things, but for me, I just felt a little bit stuck. I just needed this whole process has just helped me press pause, reset and reflect, and be aware of certain things, aware of your own behaviors, really. I don't mind at all if anybody was to, even who was thinking about like jumping on for 12 weeks, give me a call beforehand, and like I chat it through, like where they're at, how it helped me. You know, if they wanted to, you know, if anybody wanted to kind of just give us a ring, or drop us a WhatsApp call or Zoom call or whatever, wouldn't mind doing that at all, because I just think it's helped me, so it definitely can help other people.
Just two things to finish, like the positive impact it had on your business. There's a few things that we talked about, like it's like a superpower where you can just listen to customers now rather than answering them straight away.
Yeah, sometimes I would go to, for example, I would go to do an estimate for somebody who wanted a new boiler, and you know, they'd be telling you the problems that they're experiencing, and you kind of, you know, halfway through
what the solution is,
them telling you what you know what's going to fix their problem, you know what the problem is, you know, before they even kind of telling you it, because you know we've done the job for a long time. But rather than jumping in and interrupting them and kind of maybe he's coming across as being a little bit pushy or arrogant, I found myself, strangely enough, just listening to them, just listening and taking in what they were saying, and I didn't have to say a lot.
Yeah,
it was just bizarre. And I remember the first time I was telling you that, I'm finding myself doing certain things without, like, it's a bit odd, because you find yourself doing certain things in certain situations where you've never done that before, and it's because of some of the processes that you're following. But yeah, it's bizarre.
You got to. And I was glad that you like felt the same as me, because I was like, fucking hell, I thought it was just me. We got the same benefits.
Yeah, definitely. Without a doubt. I think I remember saying, like, remember when you said the reason for certain things is because of certain things in the project that you're doing. It made me, it gave me goosebumps, you know, because you kind of almost like subconsciously start doing things in a certain way, just naturally.
Powerful stuff, isn't it? As a ripple effect of that, yeah, sales conversion went through the roof. So
yeah, well, you know, it is what it is. Call it what it was. But my conversion rate for November and December were both over 70%. One was 78%, one was 71%, and that's never been that before. So, you know, it could be pure coincidence, or it could be down to the program. You know, I know which one I think it is.
Obviously, you've got the new version of you turning up, got your energy, you're focused, you're listening. It's a no-brainer why that's happening.
Yeah, it's you know, you're approaching things in different ways. I think you're more approachable as a person. Just by listening more is quite a powerful thing as well. But not just at work as well, in all aspects. You know, home life, kids, wife.
I think one thing you said yesterday, your son said he was proud of obviously what you're doing.
Yeah, because we're trained together for like 2.5 years, and he went off and done his own thing, which which is fine. He's 21 now, and so he was doing his own thing, and he kind of came back, and the way that we train, the training that I'm doing when we do with PTs, it's quite intense for half an hour. You get quite a bit in there in half an hour, and my son's quite a fit lad. He's been in the gym quite a long time now. And he was like, look, that type of training for me is just too intense. And he was like, look at Dad, he went, got to say, like, I'm genuinely like proud as punch of you. Like you're 44 and you're killing it. You know. So that was, you know, for me, it was, you know, a little bit of a proud moment. But again, I'm very conscious as well that your kids mirror you as well. So
Yeah. Well,
I'm very, very aware of that.
Yeah.
Very aware of that. And setting the example, setting the standard.
yeah, that's our big ethos, setting the standard as a man, as a business owner, as a dad. And that's exactly what you're doing now, isn't it?
Yeah, yeah, absolutely, absolutely.
So just to conclude, somebody sitting on the fence, a man who was in your position, overwhelmed, at breaking point, like what would your advice be to him? Because he's probably like you, thinking, I don't want to ask for help, it's weak, I don't want to feel, yada, 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 all of these things preventing him from taking action. What would your advice be?
Don't think about it. Just don't think. Just start doing. The more you think about it, the more you'll not do it. Just get on board, and I guarantee, I guarantee it'll be the best money you've ever spent for yourself, on yourself anyway. Everybody's at different points and different crisis points, different wanting different things, whether it be mindset, whether it be fitness, whether it be your weight, whatever it is. For me, it was trying to get my mindset right, trying to get rid of that like kind of constant cycle of like negative cycle. And I can only speak from experience. 12 weeks ago, I was definitely in a far different position to what I am now.